Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm John with Monster Transmission. Today I'm in our dyno testing area, and we're going to be continuing our conversation with Dave Ankin from ToyMakerz about Monster Transmission and what we do here. Let's take a look. All right, welcome to Monster Transmission Performance. I'm John, and this is Bobby.
What's up?
And we're here with Dave Ankin and Brayden Ankin from ToyMakerz and Team Gearhead. You know, we've been around for a long time. We're very transparent. You know, at our old shop until we moved into this new one, we had live videos in the shop. You can, anybody, any client I talk to on the phone too, I always invite them, hey, you're in the area, please come by, have a tour. I had a guy, I gotta tell a quick story. I had a guy come from Georgia. And this is, you know, through COVID, there was all sorts of parts delays. We've been juggling vendors to make sure that we could fulfill orders. Bobby knows because he's part of the team that's trying to find new people all the time that we can work with to get these parts that we need. So we had a guy that, you know, there was a delay. Call him, say, hey, we're sorry, it's gonna be another week. This is what the vendor for this part's telling us. He got frustrated, like anybody should, you know, because we're frustrated too. We're trying to get it out the door. But in his mind, he just sees big brand, we're on TV, it's probably just a website. They're probably not in a real location. So he drove down here. And the funny part is, he got scared at first because we just moved literally 6 months before. So he went to our old facility and saw it was another company. And so he was like, oh, I started freaking out. So he called and they're like, no, you're at the wrong location. He shows up at the gate in the middle of production day. Our team comes over, leadership comes over. I think Bobby, you were there as well. We're like, hey, no problem, come in, let's get a tour. The guy was steaming at first because he didn't believe we were real. As soon as we walked in the building, got to know us, got to see what we do, how we dyno test, put his hands on his transmission. Hey, this is yours, we're just waiting on this one thing. We're getting it from, you know, vendor C, and, you know, this is the delay. By the end of it, you know, we're best friends. He understands what we are. We're a family-owned company. We've been here for a long time. Yes, we've built a big name over the years, but because we've been doing it for a long time, some people don't realize that it's a real thing.
The experience you have in the back, people don't understand. I was sort of anxious when I got here. I bought 2 bad boy transmissions here just to freshen them up. We're going to go out and try to set some records this year. I was excited. I wanted to, before I could get back, I was saying hellos, it was already apart. It's like, it's really cool, and they care. People care here. You know, Bobby's always happy. I mean, but honestly, the people care here.
Yeah.
They care. You walk back and they want to show you exactly what's happening in the transmission. I didn't even know I had a problem. I just wanted to freshen up. And we saw a small problem. He's going, look, we might want to look at this. I'm going, didn't even realize we were having it. I told him, don't touch it when I got here. I said, we're just going to freshen it up, go right back out. It's going back in the car. And he cares so much that he just, look, we got a small problem here. And it's just, I got 60, 70 passes on that thing at 3,000 horsepower, pounding on the transmission, you know, it's, but, you know, maintenance is, you know, going in, we change the fluid every time.
Well, that's a big part of it too. You know, depending upon the horsepower, I have people all the time ask, well, how much or how often should I change my fluid? Well, it's how are you using the vehicle? If you're a daily driver, 30,000 miles, and you know, you're fine. But if you're
me, it's every weekend.
So it's actually a transmission myth. My grandfather, being a transmission mechanic, he told me back in the day they used to do free transmission fluid changes. Come to my shop. Come over. We'll take care of you. Free transmission fluid change. Don't worry. They come in, they change your fluid. Because most people don't change their fluid until, you know, 100,000, 125.
So they have a problem.
They'll have a problem. So, but what happens when they do this, it's unfortunate, dark side of transmission industry, so be very wary of this, guys. The new fluid is so acidic, ends up wiping the clutches clean. So within a week to 2 weeks, these transmissions that were working fine, they got free fluid services on, just now bought themselves some brand new transmissions. And they're gonna, oh, I remember that guy who gave me a free fluid change. So they're gonna go back to him for a transmission job next week. That is something to be very wary of, you know. Do fluid change, but do it between 25, 35,000 miles. Once you get a little bit past, once you get around 60, it's really kind of, you know, getting kind of sketchy to where you might not want to do the fluid change, depending on how fluid you already have and the color of it.
I've noticed in years, I mean, I'm an old man now, but most people don't think about transmission. They don't check it, they don't think about it until the thing isn't shifting right. And at that point, it's too late. Once you start feeling a problem, it's too late. If you pull the dipstick out and you smell it, there's which coincidentally I've never smelt with burnt rubber. And I don't mean to talk about burnt rubber, but Well, burn rubber, that fluid is just amazing. It never smells burnt to me. I love it. It's like, you don't smell like transmission fluid. I'm not drinking it. Leave it for you guys. But my transmission can drink all it wants. It's awesome stuff. But and you don't stink when you go home changing your transmission fluid. So, but you know, usually you're right, they won't do a fluid change. And the best answer in the world is how you drive it. You know, if you're out just casually driving it like a sensible human being, that's one thing. But if you're out pounding on it, the safest thing you can do is a fluid change. Look at the pan, you're looking at it, you're cleaning out the filter. That way, if there's a little something, it's much better to catch it early than after you start tearing up hard parts. You know, hole in the case. And
once again, thank you for joining us here at Monster Transmission. I'm John. Special thank you to ToyMakerz, Dave Ankin. To find out more about what he's up to, follow him on Instagram at @TheRealDaveAnkin. Also, he's got a new digital series coming out called The Fast Society. And for us here at Monster, check out our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, monstertransmission.com. Stay tuned for the next series. Take care.